Hello there, lovelies. Welcome back. I hope you've rested well, enjoyed yourselves, and especially if you've caught our most recent VOD, had some nice fun thoughts while a couple of us were entertaining ourselves and the other three were not sure what to do with themselves. Welcome back, everybody, to Horde of Tales and our Severed City campaign here. It is a Thirsty Sword Lesbians series that we're happening on Horde of Tales. I'm been so blessed to have this group of fantastic, wonderful people for this cast, and I have been enjoying myself over here, just flustering most of them. I haven't quite gotten everyone just yet, but that there's still a session to go through. So I'm gonna let everyone do quick introduction of themselves, who they are, pronouns, and character they're playing, pronouns, and if you want to share your playbook, you can. You don't have to, but I'm gonna start it off with the radiant, the wonderful, the angelic, our own Sakaya.
Me. Hi everyone, I'm Sakaya. I go by she, her pronouns, as does Sister Solana, who I'm playing tonight. And my playbook is The Devoted.
Wonderful, wonderful. The current legal menace who is not in any way pushing down several emotional signs of distress, our own Percival.
Hi everyone, I'm Percival, pronouns he, she, and they. I'm playing Chitrangata, legal crocodile, uh, legal crocodile human, pronouns he, she, and I'm playing from the infamous playbook.
As opposed to not legal crocodile. We refer to those as an alligator. Anyways, carrying on.
We do not talk about alligators in this house.
We don't talk about my cousin. And speaking of people who know to talk about absurd, ridiculous, and fantastic things, going to pass it on over to our own Humalu.
Oh, it's me. Hi. I am Emma Hamalu on the internet. I go with she, they pronouns, and I am bringing to you today Daisy, who uses any and all, depends on their face. And I'm playing the trickster. And they are definitely totally okay right now.
And with that sign and that moment of denial and emotional repression, we're going to go over to someone who is the belle of the ball, the brightness that lights all of our lives, are the fantastic Purna.
Hi, everyone. My name is Purna M. I go by she, her pronouns. I am playing Olivia, who goes by she, they pronouns. And like everyone else, I am also completely fine and in no mortal or emotional danger whatsoever.
Proving to be the only person who could actually make that statement and not be lying. Anyways, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Angela Lemos Morgrejo. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the gay master here who helps facilitate moments of chaos and moments of genuine flustering and emotional connection and duress, as our devoted have found with family, as our dream mirror has found with awkwardness, as our legal croc has found with just I didn't even have to do anything, and just their existence is just distress. And then Daisy is just chill. Everything's fine. Everything's going okay, except picking up where we were last time. Both parts of our respective group are currently dealing with a little bit of trouble, in that both have suddenly found themselves through different courses of action engaged with a certain combatant at this time. Both mysterious assailants, who one of whom, while Daisy was having a period of calming down and submitting to the will of a fantastic dom by the name of Cordelia, attempted to go after their dom and quickly realized this was a mistake. While the group, following a lead for a well-known resident of the lower ring, Damascus, who they have found is a very, very short little dragonoid, basically akin to a kobold, for those who want a nice visual comparison point. Our own Olivia Mayhem has nearly been smacked across the face by a giant mace that Sister Zolana managed to pull them away from. Interrupted my aftercare for this. They will pay. Thank you, chat. You are fantastic as always. But that is where we are picking up, as who wants to take the reins on this and start us off, as right now, I believe we just had Sister Zolana pull Olivia back. Olivia's understandably a lot right now, and Daisy is currently seeing the individual who attempted to deliver a backstab to their dom is now looking a bit erratic and trying to get out of the house of pleasure that they're currently in. So who wants to take the first move here in reacting to this situation? Because right now, the group in the lower ring, the combatant does not seem to be ready to run. Daisy, yours definitely looks like they want to run. Who's doing what first, folks? This is on you.
With
Oh, yeah,
no,
for it.
go on.
Please
Well,
do.
actually, I was
No.
just going to ask: is there a sort of like a turn-based thing with us? Because I know I've
Nope.
just
This is very much whoever sees the initiative, sees the day, if you will.
let's start with Daisy, and then it will give us time to work out what we're doing.
Passing the buck,
Yeah.
baton of my problems over there. So Daisy, you're up. Yeah,
Future
been
you see
us
Cornelia.
problems. Future us problems.
After producing the hidden blade and throwing it at this person, and they are turning to run, or have they already started the run?
They are like, I have made a mistake. Like you've seen, and I will say at this point, with them turning to run, the cloak has gone off them. You do see a Triton-esque looking individual, but a little bit more scaly, so perhaps also has some, probably also has draconic or worm lineage of some kind. But like blue greenish, like seafoam greenish kind of skin, but scales that are kind of golden.
I plan on going after this person. If they're
Okay.
trying to run, I'm going to stop them,
Okay.
or at
So
least
what?
start the chase.
Okay. So this is a moment of a chase. So beginning to run down the hallways, which, what a note here, various people are emerging from them wondering what the hell is going on with the commotion. You do see two women who've emerged. One of them is wearing very tight latex. Another person from another room has emerged. A very tall individual who looks, there's a lot of bruises all over them, and they don't seem very unhappy about that fact. And there's a very squat looking, like an individual who's very short for an elf, who's just like, hello, is anything going on here?
Daisy's gonna call out, look after your people and stay in your rooms, and go running. I'm going to slip a hand into a pocket that maybe wasn't there before, but it certainly is now, and pull out what is essentially like knuckles that are quite sharp on the end. And keep up the pursuit. I'll pull out a blade later, but I don't want to be running down the corridor holding a knife out, because there may be other people. So that can come later.
Other people with knives, that's for an entirely different purpose.
Yeah, you can have knives and you can do knife, that's totally fine. Running with it in the corridor is not safe. It's against safety protocol. So yeah, I intend on chasing this person down. I wonder, is there only really the one way out of this building, would you say?
You have only ever needed to go this one way.
Yeah.
But not unlike a TARDIS, the House of Pleasure is much bigger on the inside than it appears on the outside. So there are probably several floors to this building. You just have never needed to go down them. It's just been this experience of going down a very long hallway and then looking back, and it's not that far to the eye. It's not supposed to be that far, but you feel like you walked like a good 5 minutes to get over there. So
okay, because I have a vision in mind. Let me know if this sounds sensible. If there are any like twists and turns to the shape of this building rather than just being a box, I would like to hop out of one window, having ran past someone, and just like, if they have like a scarf, a bit of fabric, or whatever they've got, I'm gonna grab it on the way past. I want to hop out the window, use it to shift into that person, and keep running to kind of get in front of this person, hop back in a window at that side and be standing in the way. They won't expect it to be the person that is chasing them though, because I don't look the same anymore. Is what I'm envisaging. Tell me if that is a bit too far-fetched, but I think it sounds kind of cool.
It's so unnecessarily extra that I love it. So
Okay.
unless you have a particular move in mind for this, my thought is leaning towards defy disaster.
Sure. If I don't know if it rolls into it, because when I do play the part and I use something from somebody else to create the disguise, I have to roll plus daring for that.
Yep, do that first.
But that
then.
could be something separate. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
do that.
We'll
first
just see
then.
how
Let's
successful
resolve that bit. But
I
yeah,
only
you
have the
do
one
have
eye.
a random individual who's gone by who you see that they're is in a bit of a situation, like held up somewhere, and is like, hey, that's my favorite sweater.
I'll bring it
Quiet,
back.
Felix. I didn't say you could talk. You just hear a very seductive voice in the corner. You'll bring it back. Yes.
Of course.
Good. Felix is just like sad looking at this, but he's remaining. His mouth is shut now. He's like,
yeah. Take it.
My favorite sweater.
I got a 10. I got 6, a 2, and I get a +2. So while I'm remaining with this item on, my disguise is perfect. Only my words or deeds may expose me. So I'm just gonna like hop over a few things, leap in the window, and then like give myself a minute to look like I wasn't just running. But now get a blade at the ready for if this person comes then past me, and I am gonna try and shiv them in the side as they go past.
Okay.
I think that might
We're
be
trying to shiv them in the side now. That is more of a fight directly.
Yeah, I'm slowing this person down. Listen,
here's what I will give you.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll give you for them not expecting it. I'll automatically give you +1 to your roll because they're like, no. So please, I just need you to get out of the way, and then they're not expecting it. So if you're if you're so inclined, there's a possibility of using an optional fight move here. I feel like this is very much feint on this one because it says when you use trickery, provocation, or dirty tactics.
Yeah.
So I will let you. This feels like a daring. This feels daring is what I'm kind of either daring or wit, I would say, is what I'd be
It's the same number for me either way. So
whichever one you want to roll with and add a +1 to this. So
okay.
Also, lovelies, don't forget to stretch as we've had a redeem for checking your posture and make sure that if you're hearing the spine snip, well, we'll figure that out later.
It's a 9. Oh no, wait. You said a +1.
+1.
6, 7, 8, 9 is a 10.
Yes.
The +1.
Very nice. So, feint. You inflict a condition, and you get to choose one maneuver. So, of the maneuvers, you have flirt with or provoke your opponent and gain a string on them. Through violence or cutting words, inflict a condition. So I will let you do 2 conditions. Create an opportunity for an ally through prowess or distraction, or take an object from the opponent, or seize a superior position.
Okay, I'm going to inflict, because I already inflicted frightened.
You already do
them.
1, no matter what.
I did frightened before though, so they should still have frightened from before.
So they're still frightened.
Yeah,
they are still scared. Yes.
I'm gonna get them in the side and knock them against the wall, and if they happen to slip down, then perfect, so that I can stand astride them and give them hopeless, and hold my blade out to their chin, and give myself an advantageous position.
So they have frightened. So you said hopeless is what you're leaning for?
They've got hopeless now, yeah.
Okay, so they have hopeless. So you're putting yourself in an advantageous position?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, you're not going anywhere.
Listen, this was just supposed to be a quick job. I'm sorry.
I look forward to hearing all about it, but you're going to do so in binds. And thankfully, we're in the perfect place for it. Cordelia!
Cordelia has just sort of appeared behind him. Yes. Don't worry. I have experience with these things. And you just watch, she's already before he even knows it, he's already just like has his hands tied behind his back. He's like,
Yeah.
Man. And I will say, Daisy, again, as with, you don't know this from the other group, I think, because I don't know if I mentioned this bit for you, but again, similar to the other person, he looks like he's very much in, as we said before we got on the call, before we started streaming, refugee chic, which is the worst phrasing ever and is cursed. Like it very much is like, it has the patterns and it has the colorations. Like you have a lot of experience going across all of the circles and all of the layers, but something about it is just wrong.
Amateur.
Like,
yeah.
Amateur.
Is he wearing one of the necklaces, this one, or is it just the other one?
Yep, it looks like it's another naturalistic symbol of some kind.
I'll use my blade and just cut a bit so I can take that off. I'm gonna give Cordelia a knowing look because I don't look like me anymore, but
she goes to look by the desk and you see, with wings stuck behind her back and mouth like gagged, you just see the little fairy who you saw when you walked in. She's like,
I'm gonna go and just just
oh really, I don't feel like I've earned this just yet.
And I will undo the binds as well. I'm sorry this happened to you.
Oh well, this is normally my day for this, but this wasn't quite the way I was expecting this to turn out.
Well, consent's important.
It really is. This is
something this person clearly does. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need help?
She's like shaking herself, and you just see a little bit of fairy dust like fall off of her, and you start like floating off the ground for a second. Oh, that happens. It'll fade after a bit.
Oh,
you're welcome to have fun with that.
Oh yeah,
as much as you like.
I will come and request that the next time I want it.
Yes.
And I'm gonna kind of dust myself off, put things away. I'll still stay in this current form right now, and go to Cordelia's side. We need to figure out who this person is and why they had a hit on you.
Why don't I speak with the mistress of the household and see if we can have a conversation, whether just the two of us with them, or if you would like to bring your friends along, or anyone else, pardon. I'm making assumptions.
It's okay. Right now we have no reason to have cats inside of their bags. Maybe we have a conversation first. I will let them know, though. They might be busy right now.
Also, she like sidles up next to you and just whispers in your ear. Normally, I'd prefer to have someone only refer to me as Miss Blackthorn when we're out and about, but you can call me Cordelia. And she just starts mocking. It's like you have special privilege with her.
Yeah. They see a little smile. Thank you.
And with a nice pep in your step, you were able to take a moment to calm down for that situation. It's like, oh, well, that was nice and easy. Cutting then now suddenly to the other group where a mace is just smashed through the door. Who's doing what? Immediately in response to this, Olivia, you have, I believe I said you had fearful with good reason, such as Lana.
Yeah. So Solana has just used gallant rescue, to get Olivia kind of out of trouble, and I've taken a mace blow to the shoulder. So I don't mind us all kind of like acting together, but Solana's definitely going for a combat move because she's been in like murky emotional waters over the last couple of days, but this is where she excels, and this is where she's going to release a lot of those frustrations and tensions that have been building up.
Yep, fight sexual, got it.
I was actually going to say that I was going to actually, Chitrangada is going to take out her very mean ass looking sword, which is what's called a Sosan Patta, which is like serrated and broad at the cutting edge. And it's like it clearly has inscription written on it, written in Marathi, and she's going to take it out and is also in a mood to start fighting. And she's going to first look at Olivia and is like, Olivia, take care of him. And she's going to look at the sister, at the Zolana, and say, shall we, sister?
Let's.
Oh Lord. Two emotionally frustrated lesbians. I gave myself the worst enemies to go up against. This is what happens when butch femme dynamics work against me. It's the worst situation for me.
Yes, our heart bleeds for you.
Solana does have her sword in hand. It's a kind of silver, angelic looking blade, which she picked
Oh,
up off
that's
the... Yeah, so she picked up
Yeah.
off the floor from last session. But
okay.
just turning
Chitra-
round from sort of taking a blow, she sort of towers potentially. I don't know how tall this adversary is, but Solana's
They're
pretty tall.
they're tall. They're nowhere near as tall as you, Sister Zolana, because you are a tank of a woman.
Snoo, snoo.
But rather than using the sword, Solana just headbutts this assailant, knocking them towards
Okay,
to
that is
Changada.
going to be a fight roll for sure. That is fight, and let me see. Yeah, let's go with fight. Launch a bold and confident attack. I'm going to say that is a lunge if ever there was one. Either that or a scrap.
Well,
Either one,
plus
I'd
my
say.
daring, that just comes to a 9, so not quite a 10.
So you get to mark. So mark condition, and choose 2 maneuvers. So you will have a condition because you watch as
Yep.
you try and go for the
Done.
headbutt. You do manage to hit them well, but while you do like stagger them just a little bit, not mechanically stagger, narratively stagger, they lift up with the mace and they go up, and the spot that they hit you on the arm, they manage to like strike there again.
I'm going
So
to take angry.
that sounds appropriate for the
Yeah.
situation.
And it's not just to do with the fight. I think it's just like everything sort of coming out, all of these conditions that she's taken and shaken.
It
Um,
makes total sense. You get to choose 2 maneuvers. So through violence or cutting words, inflict a condition, create an opportunity for an ally, or take an object from the opponent, or seize a superior position.
So, the whole point of the headbutt was to kind of like stagger them back, knock them into Changada's path. So I'd like to create an opportunity.
Okay, that is an
Chitangada
opportunity
with
you've
that.
made for Chirangada.
But whilst doing so, as they sort of stagger back, I'll use my sword to sort of like slip their weapon out of their hand, kind of casually, and take an object. Is that possible?
Yes, I will say that as you get close and as they reach up, and it's like it's a swing from down low, they
A mace, yeah,
overextend a
not sword.
bit, and you see that there's like a scroll that falls out from their side. From just a passing glance, it looks like there's a list of names on it.
Okay.
So you've taken your condition, you've created an opportunity, you've taken an object. Chitrangada, what are you doing in this moment? Olivia, you will have a chance to also interact, but I figure with being frightened and dealing with that, it makes sense for you narratively to be the last one. But Chitra, what are you doing?
So I am going to use one of my playbook moves to essentially try and figure out a person. This is your Wicked Heart When you figure out a person during physical conflict, you may additionally ask one of these questions even on a 6. What are you most
Ooh.
ashamed of? How can I get you to betray your ideals?
Ooh.
So
So this is
first,
one of your player moves. Do I have that correct?
yeah. So what I'm going to do is first, Chitrangada is going to slash at the person. Just essentially is now just trying to get them like in pain and hurt enough that they have to drop everything, that they have to drop. Like her sword is very sharp and it is meant very specifically to fuck someone up.
Okay, with the description of fuck someone up, that seems to me either like a scrap or a lunge. I will let you pick from those. One is bold and confident attack. The other one is cry out and let loose an unreserved attack with an intent to defeat someone. That sounds like scrap to me.
Scrap. I was also thinking that.
So roll plus heart and tell me what you get. So we have an angelic figure just headbutting an individual. And we have a giant serrated blade coming for them. Yes?
Just a question. Can I use, is it specifically has to be heart?
It does not. So
A scrap, but you
is,
could take
that's
another
if you're
move.
doing scrap. If you just want to do a general fight move, that is also a possibility, but it would be daring or grace. And it would be for seeking to incapacitate, which I think is also appropriate given the description you gave. So if it's just a general fight roll, daring or grace. The
I'm
optional
going to
moves are exactly that. They're optional if you are going for something more specific. It's to give you all more ways to express how you're fighting. Hence why Sister Zalana is going fight sexual mode.
I'm going to be, I'm seeking to incapacitate so I can get some answers. So I'm going to use my daring, and that will be, I mean, it's not great, but that will be a 7.
A 7. So you'll get to choose 2 from the list, and your opponent will choose 1. So flirt with or provoke your opponent, gain a string. You are not flirting. Through violence or cutting words, inflict a condition. Or create an opportunity for an ally through prowess, or take an object and seize a superior position. So you get to pick 2 of those, and your opponent will also pick 1.
Okay. I'm going to inflict a condition.
Okay, so right now I will tell you that Sister Zalani, you inflicted 1 condition. Do I have that right?
No, I gave an advantage to.
You gave an advantage and you took
Chitrangada.
something. Sorry.
Yeah, and I
Just
took a
reminding. So they don't have any conditions right now. So you have anything from the list. You have angry, frightened, guilty, hopeless, or insecure.
I'm going to go for I'm going to go for frightened.
Frightened. Okay.
Yeah.
Frightened. Then they will choose, because you have done that. So you've done an inflicted condition. You have one other thing that you can choose.
So the other options were
create an opportunity through prowess or distraction, or take an object from your opponent, or seize a superior position.
I'm going to say seize a superior position by essentially I'm going to try and get at their back, so I can like hold the sword against their throat, and for later interrogation. I'm going to try and flank them.
They are also going to seize a superior position. But because you have done that, I'll say, in effectively canceling each other out, what happens is they manage to, with a blade you didn't realize was hidden underneath their arm, that it just pops out. They sweep underneath your legs, or at least they try and go to, but because you were already trying to put them in a position, you are not put on the back foot, but they have moved closer to the door that they smashed open. And because you have frightened them, they look like they're getting ready to run. And something that the 3 of you did not notice, the noise that has been happening here it seems like there's people outside who are going to see this. Think about that in regards to how you resolve this. Because right now, what people are seeing is someone dressed like a refugee in the midst of attacking somebody. Olivia, what are you doing in this situation?
Ah, okay. So Olivia has been sort of pushed aside by Sister Zalana away from the door, yes?
Yes.
Gently
Um,
maneuvered.
Gently maneuvered with utmost loving care in the middle of a fight. Are there any windows in evidence? Are they open or like
They can be
as in-
opened with ease. I'll give you that.
right? Okay, so Olivia's gonna open the window and like try and climb out, and yeah.
Okay. You're able to do that. What are you
Okay.
aiming for here?
To catch attacker person by surprise
Before they leave?
Yeah.
Oh, you're trying to sneak behind them in order to like to basically ambush them from behind.
Mhm.
Okay. Unless you have a particular move in mind, I'm inclined to think that is
The lunge.
that would be either a lunge or I was going to say defy disaster, but I think lunge also works in this case because lunge is you're launching bold and confident attack with the intent to defeat someone. So roll plus daring.
So my only thing is, if
Mhm.
I rolled for defy disaster, I can roll with cleverness, perhaps, which is wit rather than daring, because I am frightened.
Yes. If you feel that is also appropriate,
Does the frightened roll affect me?
frightened roll effects so that folks have it. It's to fight. It's a -2 to fight.
Okay, cool. So I will defy disaster. I have rolled a 10.
Jesus. Okay. Everyone decided to pull out big rolls right now, except for Chithra, who managed to squeak by. 10. Do it with style. At the GM's discretion, you may also learn new information, discover a new opportunity, or gain a string on someone. I'm going to say the new opportunity is that they are entirely blindsided by this. They have no idea that they thought they were like, oh, they're knocked out. I don't have to deal with them. They're about to turn around to go through the door, and they just see you there. Describe what happens, dear.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is before they can quite turn, like as they're turning, Olivia's going to put like an arm around their shoulder, because when Olivia climbed out, she would have seen that people, like there were enough people nearby. So Olivia's going to put an arm around their shoulder and kind of like, so what people see from behind is just two buddies hanging out. It's all fine. And then with this hand, just gonna like push their face up against the wall, be like, who are you? What is your problem?
You see that they're trying to reach for something else hidden under the other sleeve, but just because of the awkwardness of how you've gotten one of their arms pinned, they can't do anything. And any people who are outside are like, oh, it's one of those kind of nights. Never mind then. They don't know. They don't know what happens here. They don't know what Damascus is up to.
It's true.
Look,
What happens in
is a fine fellow.
Damascus?
What happens in Damascus? Okay.
Stays in
Stays
Damascus.
in Damascus?
To Damascus.
Unless Damascus learns to cooperate.
Oh Lord.
What happens
Lord.
to Damascus?
Damascus is
Stays
the
with
good guy.
stays in
This phrasing
Damascus's
has gotten worse
house.
and worse if you've all been talking. So
What happens with Damascus? What happens to? I'm just going to go through the list of prepositions now. Oh,
no, god damn it. So the person is turning around and seeing that there is Olivia there, Chitra, who still has the very serrated sword, and a very pissed off Celestial.
Sometimes serrated knives are bread knives. Sometimes they're dread knives.
yeah, yes.
Okay, everybody, that's the end of the mid-season
Very
finale. I
tempted
hope
to
you've
make a
all been
very
doing-
dirty joke there, and
Roll
I'm restraining
credits.
myself.
Just
Why?
hold it back.
Neither,
hold it-
none of the rest of us are restraining ourselves by all means.
Roll credits. I'm so proud of Purna right now. This is
God damn it.
see, look, this is South Asian power in the go.
Way to take it into a weird direction.
I know, right? I heard it, and I was like, no, dial it back.
Forgive us, folks. It's 1:15 a.m. We're only trying to take over the world.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I was tempted to actually, our producer was tempted to roll this goddamn ending screen. God damn it.
producers like
So-
it's too late in the day.
Once again, you see, it is another Triton-esque individual. Fine. Fine. This is not worth dying over.
It always seems like it's worth dying over when you're not squished against a wall and trying to answer funny questions, right? So, Gimpy, can I call you Gimpy? I'm going to call you Gimpy. Gimpy, what is your role in all this?
It's Alexander.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Gimpy. Gimpy, what is your role?
I got hired on to deal with Damascus.
Sorry, quick question. Where is Damascus when all this is happening?
Oh, Damascus has just been cowering in the corner this entire time. He's both
Okay.
impressed by all of the fighting and also like, what? I don't know how to deal with this. Also, because remember, you're all at bare minimum like 2 feet taller than this man.
It's
He's
fair.
a little dude. He's a
He's too nice a
little
cup of tea,
dragonoid.
though.
He's mighty. Small but mighty. Small but mighty. But
He be little, but he be fierce. Okay. So, right. Well, Gimpy, what has Damascus done to deserve this ire you seem to have against the poor lad?
I don't have any ire against him.
No?
Nope.
Look at you, full of ire right now.
No, this is not me full of ire. This is me regretting all of my choices in the past few weeks.
So
Well,
you're a hired idiot.
I'm a little offended by the term idiot, to be fair, but no, I am someone who was trying to make a decent amount of money because it's very difficult living here in the lower ring.
Solana's
That's-
unrolling the list while this is going on and looking for Damascus's name on it.
Damascus's name is on there, along with Cordelia Blackthorn, a few other individuals from different guilds, whether they are mercantile, alchemist. There is the Lawyers Guild as well. The office, Guillermina Delgado's name is on that list. You also see Sidney Gottlieb's name is on that list as well.
Okay. Well, whose ire are you translating into action today, Gimpy?
I don't know. It's just some person just kind of found me at random and offered me like a significant amount of money, enough to get out of this place. if I just said I was going to put on, frankly, this is terrible representation of most of our garbs. Like, have you seen this? The color patterns is all terrible. The actual textiles used for this are wrong. But I was willing to do it because the money was enough. Because I'd like for my family to be able to get out of here.
And that is completely fair, Gimpy. And, you know, I'm probably going to be pretty fond of you by the end of this because Gimpy's a pretty fondable name. But right now, you are pissing me off.
I resent this name already. I've chosen every manner of this to resent this name.
That's okay.
You tried.
I'm okay
You tried
with
to
that.
kill
However,
someone. Take the name. Take the name or take the sword. It's your pick.
I will say
take the name,
above
Gimpy.
table that there is a certain level of personal discomfort with the term Gimpy solely because I think Gimp has. I don't actually know entirely if the term Gimp has a negative ableist connotation to it. That is my only actual hesitation. Above table.
Oh, does it?
I don't know.
Oh,
I've only ever. I swear I've heard Gimp used in a BDSM context, but I don't know.
It's used in both, I think, because
yeah.
well,
Yeah.
certainly in UK parlance, it can get used to mean someone who
That's why I'm like, wait, before I continue this, let me put a pause just narratively to clear this up. The only reason I'm actually stopping this is just because I'm uncertain. So if there is a possible other pet name, he will still be annoyed by being given it, but he's still gonna regretfully.
How about Jumpy?
Jumpy is also appropriate because he's still skittish. He's still scared shitless. He hasn't relieved the frightened condition, so Jumpy also works.
Okay.
He keeps poking to say, call me Alexander. And he's still
rejigging.
Yeah.
Rejigging.
But moving back into that, yeah, he's, as far as you can tell from looking at the list and such, he doesn't so far know anything. But if anyone wanted to try and get some more information, you are welcome to try and read a person as for move wise.
I can try Mimesis, which is one of my player moves. It is where you observe someone for a short time. You may ask one of the following: what behaviors do you find non-threatening? Like, what would you talk about in the situation? That kind of thing.
Like, you get the sense he's been eyeing, of all things, the tea kettle that was being brewed by Sister Zalana earlier, and he looks like he wants a cup of tea. Like, he literally just broke into this house to try and kill a man. He's also like, then could go for a cup of tea.
Okay, listen, Jumpy, I feel like all of us got off on the wrong foot. Some of us because they were attacked while they were just standing here talking to a guy. But, bygones can be bygones if you just tell us some useful stuff. Save all of us time, some of us some limbs. What do you think? Plus, you'll get some tea. Zalana just made some tea.
Excuse me. I don't know if, like, you see Damascus suddenly piping up. I don't know necessarily whether I want to give up some of my tea stores to someone who was planning to kill me. If that's,
That's more than fair. That's more than fair, Damascus. I feel like way to take charge of the situation, my man. But also, I feel like maybe we can get you some more tea. Right now, we just don't want to go to a tea house, if you see what I'm saying.
Fair.
Okay. I'm going to come back and get you some
to his little nook, and he's just like putting a blanket around himself, shivering because he's scared. He's just eyeing daggers at Alexander.
If it's possible, I don't know if this is a thing, but I would, at this point, Olivia would like try and catch Sister Zalana's eye to be like, and try and like gesture towards Damascus, like needs comforting, needs patting on head, kind of gesticulation. While still holding Jumpy.
The angry.
Yeah, Solana's full of anger right now, so she sort of stomps over to Damascus. All right? Enough tea?
Yes.
Good. Okay, good.
And then
that's fine.
Imagine a little kobold head sinking into his own body, and he's only like 3'5" max. So he's losing about 3 or 4 inches of height sinking into his own body.
Oh no. Olivia's going to turn. Okay, as Sister Zolana goes to comfort Damascus, Olivia's going to turn to Chitrangada and say, hey, so Chitra, from a legal standpoint, killing people or attempting to kill people is bad, wouldn't you say?
Yes, very.
Right. So, I'm going to let you take over some questioning. Jumpy, that okay with you?
I mean, I appreciate that they were communicating and just checking in with me, but also I feel like it's beside the point at this
man.
stage. It's kind of beside the point. But sure, yes.
Oh man, Jumpy, you're so right. Okay, it is kind of besides the point.
Chitra,
Chitra, go ahead.
Thank you. Chitra is going to. She's not unsheathing her sword. Not sheathing her sword just yet. Just just has it, but she like kind of puts it down next to her. In grabbing area, and just kind of goes down on her haunches to look him in the Alexander in the eye, and is like, so are you a part of the movement?
Oh, I have a guess what you're doing. What are you like? Sort of like shifts back and is just quieter, just talking to you. Are you part of this?
I don't think I have a move that technically can work out in this, because he's not a villain, so I can't pretend to be a villain here.
Yeah, he did just try and kill you. So
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so I am going to pull. I'm going to use one of my playbook moves, which is always suspect. When you pretend to be a villain to win a villain's trust, they trust you enough to offer you an opportunity, and you gain a string on them. You must choose one of the following options. Someone watching comes to the worst possible conclusion. The villain requires an act of villainy to prove your intentions first. The villain is only pretending to trust you, and the opportunity is a trap.
here, I can give you an opportunity and a way to prove yourself all in one. Listen, like, just like leans in closer to you, Chitra. Says, listen, I could still get money from this. Whoever hired me just wanted some proof that they've been taken out of the picture. If you can either do that or keep the rest of my list going, I should be fine. The next one was going to be I think Sydney Gottlieb was the next one on the list. And you do see, if you check the list, it is the next one on the list. Like, all I was told specifically in regards to that for a special case was that it had to be done during the middle of the day. Like when there's still folks in the office and such.
I can take over from you. You are done, if I'm being entirely honest. I think you are compromised.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. And I
Have
can
you-
tell
Convince
you,
these two. I don't know how you convince these two, but
they're friends of mine. I'm very good at making friends.
Have you already taken the money?
no. I was going to be sent the money after confirmation of the job being completed.
So you didn't even get half up front. It was just the entire amount would be transferred later.
Yes.
So that means you had a meeting spot after this?
He was, for whoever it was just going to send someone to pass it along my way. I
To
don't
your
know.
house?
Again, yes, I don't know how. All I know is that they have a lot of contacts and a lot of people.
So they know where you live.
Yes.
Do you have a place to you know,
Do you mean
keep
a
your head
secret
down?
hideaway? Do I
For
look
you
like
and
the
your
kind of?
family.
Do I look like the kind of person who has enough money for a secret hideaway?
No, but you can have friends. Do you have a friend in a? I don't know. Do you have anywhere?
Potentially.
Okay. Because that
My
would be
husband is
good.
going to be so mad at me.
Well, they come around.
Give me your address now.
Gives the address.
Stop giving your address to people. That's also something I'm going to tell you, Jumpy.
Oh, sorry. Well, you're currently in a position to cause me severe harm. At least the other one only had the vague threat. This is an actual threat.
Yeah, your day's not going so well, huh?
No, it's not. It's really not.
Yeah. My
Okay.
heart really bleeds for you there, Jumpy.
So Sander like actually starts crying a little bit after hearing it one more time. Like, for all intents and purposes, you've gotten pretty much all the info you can get out of him. He did just try and kill you, but also he doesn't really know that much.
Do you have a regular or any kind of pub or bar that you can go to?
Yeah.
Hide there. At least for as long as you can.
I mean, but wouldn't
I'm
people
going.
know that it's his regular haunt?
I mean, I'm not. Obviously, don't necessarily go to like somewhere that's regular for you. Just pick a bar and hide there. And Chitrangada is going to take out his wallet and going to like whatever money he has, he's just going to give it to Alexander and say, "Drinks are on me."
Just so you know, this is not typically what happens when you try to kill anyone.
No.
Never tried to do it before.
But just so you know patterns and feedback loops, just don't do it again, okay?
Oh, okay.
And
I feel like
Alexander-
I could. Yes.
Alexander,
Hmm?
I'm going to go to your house and I'm going to make sure that your husband is safe, because I'm pretty sure if they don't find you there, they're going to try and take it out on your husband.
Oh no.
Okay?
Oh no, I didn't think about this. Oh no, I really didn't
Yeah.
think
It's
this one
okay.
through.
It's okay.
It's-
It's gonna be okay. There are scary people who can make us do things we don't want to do, but there are even scarier people when you think about it, and those scarier people are us, because we're willing to stand up to those scary people, okay?
Chitrangada smiles like this full toothy, you can see every crocodile fang smile. Like, exactly.
Olivia looks at Chitrangada, goes, I mean, see?
You already, like, Chitrangada looks at Olivia like, have you not seen me smile before? Did you not know I was a crocodile shifter?
I knew. Just, don't get that close up all the time.
You and so many people.
This male Triton, by the way, is still scared shitless while you're having this casual conversation in front of him. And Sister Zalana is still towering over him. He's still pretty scared, but the last thing you hear, sort of transitioning to, if folks are okay with it, sort of a jump cut a little bit later on, either that day or the next day, where the full group is able to meet up again. Unless, Stacy, you wanted it to be individual conversation with Cordelia and that person first.
Daisy was going to question them a little bit first, but it's
Okay.
You know.
If you wanted at the very least for the group to have been made aware that you're up there and a
Yeah.
similar thing happen, then Cordelia would take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
She knows of the community center.
Hmm.
I will say the last thing that the main group, the rest of the group rather, hears before they goes, I hope Felix is okay, which Felix was the name of one of the individuals, actually of the individual Daisy took took the clothing from. So they have a very
Healthy.
lively love life, is how I will put it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like one of us would say, I mean, they're probably doing okay.
I'm sure they're just tied up with
Daisy
something.
looks like Felix right now.
So the two conflicts have been resolved.
Mm,
This main chunk of the group has gotten information. Daisy,
yeah.
you would say that the succubus who runs the house, I believe I gave her the name was Alexandra Rosencruz. I think that was the name I gave.
Rosencruz, yeah.
Yes, so Mistress Rosencruz.
Mm,
It just says, like, you see her just like in the room, just with the Triton individual. And there is in all the times you visited, she's always had this demeanor of very calm, almost like sensual peacefulness. This is a rare occasion in which you see just a glimpse of just kind of fury in her face. And you do see that the nails that she's trying to do just like one of these, just keeping her hands to the sides, but you do see the nails are growing out into like actual claws. And there's definitely I am exercising a lot of restraint look on her face right now.
Yeah. I think Daisy is gonna have wanted this person to be tied up to a chair, and then I'm gonna climb into their lap and sit facing them. And I'm gonna try and judge, because I feel like I'm probably able to read these sorts of things to see if this current form is doing it for them, first off. And if it's not, then Daisy will shift. Because I feel like the show of trust from Cordelia is going to make Daisy do a similar show of trust.
This is an entice roll if ever there
Yeah,
was
yeah,
one.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
definitely roll plus heart, gorgeous. Roll plus heart.
Okay.
You very
I get a
wonderful
-1 to
person,
this.
you.
8. Takeaway 1 is 7.
So gain a string on them unless they decide instead to choose one. Get flustered and awkward. Promise something they think you want. Give in to desire. Your form is definitely doing it for them. They're
This form?
definitely giving in.
Okay.
They're like, hi.
Hi.
So am I not in trouble or anything? You're very pretty.
Thank you. I try.
You really
Um,
succeed.
Well, I'm hoping that you'll do me a favor. You want to be helpful, don't you?
Oh yeah, especially if
Yeah.
someone's so pretty. Yeah, yeah.
You want to be so helpful. And I'm just going to get my fingers like up into their hair and just like scratch at their scalp.
Oh,
So,
that's really nice. I get
yeah.
scritchies. Scritchies
Yeah.
are good.
Who sent you here? I'm sure you're going to be very
I
thankful to them getting this experience.
well, I honestly I don't really know. I don't really know what they look like. I didn't get too much of a good look when they just found me. I was just out
Oh.
in the market one day.
And they told you to come here and do what?
Oh, take somebody out, make sure it was done publicly if possible. Quietly, but still clear that I was seen leaving the area.
Do you normally take on that kind of work?
Oh no, I've never done this kind of thing before. I've also
What?
never done this kind of thing before. You're very pretty.
Thank you. So,
Oh, I got scritchy.
why did, and I'll just like let them rest against my chest as I do some more of this.
Oh,
So,
this is nice.
so what made
World
you,
cold and hard.
yeah, what made you agree to this job then?
It was quite a lot of money. I don't know if you could tell. I'm from the lower ring.
I won't hold that against you. I mean, agreeing to a lot of money and then doing something incredibly dangerous. I mean, the security in this place, you could have been killed.
I would really, I think that was kind of the goal. Whether I die on the way or even if I succeeded, I just had to be seen doing something here.
Oh.
Hmm.
And was it just anyone or was it her specifically?
Oh, her specifically. She's quite a notable writer, you know.
I know. Very talented. And I'm just gonna eye Cordelia like over the back end of this person.
Cordelia is just sort of looking like half pleased that
Yeah.
someone recognizes her talent, but also
Mhm.
like, you motherfucker. Also the look of like, you motherfucker, you just tried to kill me. You're not getting out of this with just praise. I'm kinky. I'm not that kind of kinky.
Yeah. So, what's your name?
I'm Alistair.
Nice to meet you, Alistair.
Your sword is very pretty.
It's pretty nice. I'm sorry I had to throw it into your shoulder.
Oh, well, it'll be okay. This is more than making up for
I
it.
know. It's just you tried to hurt somebody who's really important to me, and my hands are going to grip at the hair real tight. I didn't appreciate that. That was very silly of you. And I'm going to go back to Scritchies.
Oh,
So, if you were successful, how were you going to get the money from them?
they were planning. They have. I was sent a missive that they would send along someone with the money, or that they would deliver it by some means.
Where do you live?
Gives the address because a bunch of hired hands are just giving their addresses out because they don't know anything.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is everyone important always have one of those swords?
Only when they're my kind of important. And I'm the only one of me in the world.
That's true.
Mm.
You're really pretty.
Just so pretty. And I'm gonna try and like remove whatever jacket or like outer layer he's wearing.
He has basic like scruffs and such, like
Yeah.
like the most generic of tunic and pantaloons. Like you get the sense the outfit that he's actually wearing, like he probably came from working at the docks or somewhere else. Like dude did not know wear an outfit to kill someone, what the procedure was for what to wear.
And I'm gonna flip it over and put it on, slip my arms into it, and then just like hold the side of his face and just study him for a moment. And then I'm gonna imitate his voice. This is going to be interesting. And then I get up off his lap and shift into him. She's gonna get to deal with you now, and I'm gonna go and collect your money. Toodles. And I step back and give Cordelia a nod of my head.
Wait. I do know one thing I could tell you. Know one thing I could tell you.
Please, and then maybe you'll get something out of this. Maybe she'll leave you with all your fingers.
But okay. I could really do with those for work.
Please, you tell me exactly what you need to say then.
I didn't get a good look at the person who hired me on, but I did notice that I think they thought they were being more careful than they actually were, and they have a sword. It looks pretty distinct. It and takes the time to describe something that's very akin to a rapier, and it has a very like specific gold hue, and like well decorated like handguard and pommel. The gold that he describes is not a common hue whatsoever in the city. In fact, there's really only one other person that you know of who likely has anything remotely close to that hue. Gottlieb.
I'm gonna smirk. I'm gonna hold his face again and like give him a real raunchy kiss, which is kind of 11 shades of weird because I look like him. And then I'm gonna step back and be like, "You're a gem."
I really hope this doesn't awaken anything inside of me.
And Daisy's gonna look at Cordelia and give a kind of bow of the head, hoping that she understands both what Daisy is now giving her and that obviously Daisy can choose what they look like.
You really need to do that a little more often.
Gladly. I'd like to think I've earned quite the reward.
Next time.
And I will bow with a flourish because Daisy's in confident Daisy mode. And it's gonna...
You hear audible, like, knuckles crack as she goes towards him. And you see that she just randomly, like, pulls out a little vial
Mm-hmm.
that she pours it into her hand, and it basically, it's what I'm just going to call the fantasy equivalent of an ice cream bar, like a popsicle comes
Uh-huh.
out. But she's still behind him. Says, Alistair, I want you to know that the next thing that touches your skin will be the most terrible thing in the world. You will freeze, it will hurt, and you will not remember any of this. Pokes him with the popsicle, and he jumps, and then he looks, and he isn't, he can't move because he's tied to the chair, but he turns around, and then you just see her just take a bite of the popsicle.
Mm. Mm.
You're fine, Alistair. You don't look like you know that much. And also, I get the sense that you're more of a patsy than anything else.
Can you keep him secure until I'm able to take whatever payment he was due to get?
Of course.
I want to know who's delivering it.
Of course. I have some
Thank-
things I have some writing to get done anyways.
Thank you, Mr. Speckthorn. Okay. I'm going to turn around and I think for now, Daisy's curious to see what kind of reactions this image might get as they travel, but they're going to
So to be clear, you're traveling through the House of Pleasure and outwards wearing his look.
Now I have his jacket now, so I can do it later, I suppose. So I'm going to store that where I store all of my things by just shifting into something else.
You have the Felix the Cat like perpetual bag, except it's your entire body being able to. That's the most useful thing ever.
Just layering in and out. I think for heading back down and going to find friends, they're gonna shift into OG Daisy and go and try and find them.
Okay. Make a note that you went away from the household as yourself and not as the individual.
Yes.
Which was a good decision, because had this whole thing been him leaving,
I mean, yeah,
people would have wondered what people would have talked. You were all able to meet up. I'd say community center would probably be the best spot for everyone to be back together. You're all back. It's whatever part of the day that you feel like it is now. I'm inclined to think it's more in the evening time with everything that's happened, or at least later part of the day, if not evening. You have Macy and Aisha are currently just sitting like this, just tired after having worked on a thing, and both of them are still like spatting with each other, but it's very much in a tone of like, I told you it would be enough. It's like, I didn't say it wouldn't be enough. I just said it was too much for us to do. Well, I'm still right. It looks as though the evening, the lunch rush for food and such has tired them out. Starting to move into the evening, like early evening time. They're looking at the dishes and like, you're all here.
Yeah. Daisy walks in and has to like take a moment to deep breath, collect, conceal, don't feel. And I'm gonna wander in and kind of go to the kitchen first and give everyone like the upward head nod as I go to get myself a snack, because Daisy hasn't eaten yet today, really.
Have you ever seen someone give a head nod without directly looking at that person? That's what Chitrangada is doing with Daisy.
Okay.
Just not, no, it's like, yeah, just like the head is here, the eyes are somewhere else.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Olivia I think we'll just return the head nod just out of like reflex. And then be like, is that something I do?
Solana's lost in thought, and is just looking through that list of names.
So so are we all just in the kitchen space? And like, are there other people around? Or okay.
Macy and I should know when all of y'all are working to like give y'all some space. You just hear them bickering in the kitchen trying to deal with the dishes.
Okay. I guess Olivia would, as if continuing a conversation, like without any lead in, would just be like, so Jumpy was supposed to get them while they were at work.
I think it just needed to be dramatic with lots of witnesses.
Right.
I don't think the person who set Alexander onto this had any real expectations of his overall success.
It was Gottlieb.
Sorry, what?
It was Gottlieb. I'm assuming. Did you guys get attacked?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Are
Got
you
it.
okay?
Yeah. I'm just fine. Yeah, the person who passed the job on thought they were being more subtle than they actually were, and they had a sword that has a very particular hilt and a very particular type of gold, and the only person I know who has something like that is Gottlieb. I do have a means of collecting the money for the hit, potentially.
And it makes sense if you're going to make a hit list to put your own name on it, and I'll slide the paper over to Daisy.
Yeah. Classic villain, I guess. Okay. Well,
Inciting hatred against the
is
folks of the title
Gottlieb-
zone.
Well, yeah.
Why is Giamina's name on it though? That's what's vexing me right now.
Big public figures. Anyone who is an ally of hers would know that people from the title zone had done a hit on her and others. And he, from what I've been told, gathered more information than I was actually intending. It's all about the story for him. He's spinning something very particular to create a certain narration, and he's trying to make sure he's not complicit. His name on the list, sure, but also going down and acting like he cares about them.
So,
But
what part of the story are we missing then? If this is the story he wants to tell.
That is the
Play.
story. He wants a story.
he wants a story and he's going to be the hero.
Yeah, maybe.
All storytellers, especially ones as ruthless as Gottlieb is, at some point he wants a bit of the spotlight. And what better way to demonize an entire people by attacking those who are supportive of them, which is why I'm assuming Giamina's name is on this, because I and Giamina both have struck many deals with Gottlieb that he absolutely knows that Giamina at least does not mean what she says and always has different motivations. So and this is just my theory. I think Giamina was going to probably survive this. She would be injured, she would be angry, and her motivations would change from self-preservation, greed to vengeance, and she is a vengeful one.
Then they both deserve what's coming to them.
I mean, that's sure. I'm sure they do. I just. If we go to Gottlieb and tell him that the jig is up, is it going to change anything? I mean, won't he just send some other schmucks out there to deal with people?
Evidence.
Yeah.
Like I say, I have a means of picking up payment for what happened to one of the people on that list
Right.
and figure out who's delivering that, get information out of them, and crawl our way up. We need hard evidence.
Yeah.
Would what if we have bait? I had intended to make a visit onto Giamina's offices. I needed something to discuss with her. She's
How do you
still
know
on
they
the
haven't
list.
already done it?
Oh, trust me, I still have my connections there. I'd know if she was dead. If she...
Oh, I could pose as one of the assassins.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was actually getting to. You and I, we could
See
go
how
to
she
Giamina's
reacts?
office.
Do I
Yes.
get to actually stab her?
Sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
excellent. Love it.
You and I, we could go to the Delgado offices. You could pose as the assassin, stab her just enough, or maybe we could find a way to fake her death, and Gottlieb, then we can expose Gottlieb and expose Giamina if she's involved.
But if he's expecting her to live, he would know something is up if she actually gets killed.
I mean, that.
What
But
if what if you go to Gottlieb's office and create a furor just outside his office that suggests rumors that Giamina has been killed and see how he reacts?
That is...
As a quick additional note, I will say for Sister Zolana's benefit, your head mother is also on that list as well.
That may be what she's been looking at more than anything then. Although the list is now with Daisy, but it's late. I think I need to get back to the chapel. But I'll see you all in the morning.
Olivia's gonna like take a couple quick steps behind Zelena to be like, hey, thank you for saving my life. It's just,
Of course. I mean, anyone would. And you did well today.
I mean, it was have a good sleep. I just wanted to thank you. And yeah. Mums, am I right? And like turns around and goes off.
And Solana's just sort of like a, eh? And then
I'm actually going to follow Zolana outside. Sister.
oh hey, Titrangala.
Hi. I don't know if I'm ever going to get another opportunity, considering what we are going to do now is going to be increasingly dangerous.
We'll be
We-
fine.
I know you're worried about your head mother. She's on the list, and but I know that you and the other sisters will be able to protect her. I've never doubted your capability of saving those you care about.
Thank you. That means a lot. And
I
no, go on.
I've honestly delayed this for a very long time because I didn't know how to explain this, because I know you saw the way I interacted with Alexander, my interactions. You know what my past is, at least as much further than a lot of people do.
Hey, where are you going with this? That's in the past. It's fine.
Yes, but that past is the reason why I met you in the first place.
Well, let's say that's one good thing that came out of it then.
I do. That is a fantastic thing that came out of it, in fact. But I needed to tell you something. Something
Okay.
that I should have told you a while back.
Okay.
I was specifically assigned to your temple, to you, to try and there was
Assigned.
a yes. I was up for a promotion to senior partner, and we had a prospective client that we were really looking to sign with us. But this client, he was a real estate. He was big into real estate, and he was reluctant because he had some contracts of his with a more prestigious law firm, and we were looking to poach him.
Okay, what does that
One,
have to do with me?
I do you remember the morning where your keys to the head mother's office went missing?
Yeah, how can I forget? We were all in trouble.
I took them.
Oh.
I needed access to the head mother's office because she had specific documentation that we were looking for that could condemn the land that the temple stood under. Hence, the client we were looking for could buy it and set up his new condominium or whatever he wanted.
But those keys were in my charge at that point. You took them from me.
Yeah.
So wait, so all that trouble with the chapel, that was
That was
my
me.
fault? Because you
That was not, no, that was me. I was the one who befriended you. Please do not
exactly,
blame
and I'm
yourself.
stupid and trusting, and I I can't do this. I can't do this right now. No, I'm sorry.
I understand. I just thought you should know before anything. I'm sorry.
Solana turns and runs.
Chitrangada just kind of slumps against the wall and is like, and just kind of cries silently. You knew this was going to happen. You knew what? You knew this was going to happen. It's fine. And she's just crying. She's just silently crying to herself outside.
When Solana gets back to the chapel, she had the intention of going straight to the Mother Superior. But she's almost forgotten everything that was going on and crashes through the door of her little cell and flops onto the bed, sits up, puts her head in her hands, bursts into floods of tears. And then she sees Olivia's picture on the bedside table. She picks it up and she stares at it through her tears for a while. And then she screams and kicks the bedside table over and rips up the picture. Why am I so stupid?
Dearest, you aren't. Hear a voice, a very comforting voice you've only heard once before. And you see someone who looks very much like you, but much shorter. Much more akin to like the equivalent would be like a halfling. Oh, dearest, you aren't. And that is where we're going to take a pause, folks, as it seems in a moment of despair, prompted by revelation, the loving guardian has seen fit to appear again. So we are going to take a break for about 5 to 10 minutes, folks. We'll see you shortly as Catholic guilt, seduction, complicated feelings, backstabbing a friend because you were praising a god, and subterfuge through a hit list and or shenanigans may follow. So the second half of what is our mid-season finale that started with fighting and is now in feelings are hard territory will continue shortly, folks. We'll see you in a little bit. Hello there, lovely beans. It's so good to have you here back with us. We are in the second half of our mid-season finale of The Severed City, the Thirsty Sword and Lesbians series that we have here on Horde of Tales. We just had, before the break, a very emotional revelation and disclosure from Chitra towards Sister Solana that was pretty rejected. Severely rejected, at least as far as engagement goes. There is a mechanical thing that we will solve with them that for Chitra in a little bit, but first we left off in a moment of Sister Solana tearing to shreds a very nice photo of Olivia that they had kept by her bedside. And now seeing the visage of her goddess there with her.
What am I doing wrong? Why do I keep trying to please everyone and I just end up Mother is on a hit list and I'm concerned about myself. I'm sorry.
My love, my sweet. I must ask you something. And I want you to be honest with me, if you can. How much longer are you going to keep doing that?
Do what?
Denying yourself. even now when you've just had a moment of hurt and pain, you seek to apologize, move attention away, biting your tongue, always directing your focus somewhere else.
This is you me to blame. I was angry. Poor Chitrangada. It must have been extremely hard for him to come and say that, and I just lashed out and run away. And I'm supposed to be protecting my friends, not making them feel like they can't talk to me.
Do you think that your friends will leave you simply because you were hurt for one moment? And frankly, hurt for legitimate means. Over legitimate means.
No.
Beloved, do you think your friends think so low of you that you hurting them for a moment would mean they think any less of you?
I think less of me.
Why?
I try to attain your standard. I try and I fail all the time.
My love. And you do see that she sort of gestures to you to like bend down to her, because she is quite a lot shorter than you.
I kneel. I get off the bed and I literally kneel.
She puts a hand to your cheek. My love, you only fail when you choose not to share that same joy and radiance that you give so often to others, that you sacrifice your own well-being to others and don't extend it to yourself. But to be a failure, that is not something you can be. It is not a state, it is not a curse, it is not a blight that you hold to your spirit and soul. Love is not so static.
Okay. Now, I know you're going to chastise me, but I still need to apologize to Frangada.
My dear, if you're looking for chastisement, perhaps you should speak about seeking such things with the one you are interested in.
That's not what the mother would say. Which that's kind of what I've been asking you in my prayers. I feel at odds between where you guide me and what the church is saying. And then when you spoke to me in the theatre the other day, do you want me to rebel against the Order's teachings? Because it's not going right.
Where do you see it going, and what do you wish to do?
We're at breaking point. We need to treat everyone the same. We need to give them all the same basic needs. It can't matter whether they're from this city or whether they're from the outside. And we need to get to the bottom of what's going on, because someone is trying to leverage hatred against the refugees. Someone is trying to make this worse. And I can't just stand by anymore. I can't just toe the church line and just sit back and let it happen.
And you already know what you must do. The question I ask then, do you have the strength to follow through where your heart guides you?
Solana stands up. She kind of pulls her tunic down. I do.
Blessings, love, faith. None of these are confined to a church. The most ancient and primordial of faith is simply to act for the good of others. That is what I teach you. That is what those who embrace me know in their hearts above all else. And more than anything, you cannot deny what is in your heart. For whomever your feelings may go towards, and however many they go towards, you must take it upon yourself to act on those feelings with care, with judgment, and with communication. But to simply go against the church, I certainly will have no hatred towards you. Or do you think
I
so
know what I
lowly
need
of
to do.
me that I have no love in my heart for you being
Never.
a little rebellious?
Never. I know what to do, Mother. Thank you.
Again, like Kratos you in both hands, leans up, and it's very cute. It's such a stark contrast because she has you bend down again. She does that, and she almost has to go on her tiptoes to do this, but she gives you a very soft kiss on your forehead. And it's such a, I'll describe it as such because I feel like this is most meaningful for you as a player and for Solana to interpret. It is like feeling the softest, most warming embrace of a mother who has known only how to give love and support to you, who has seen you in all of your mess and wants you to keep trying to be better, who believes in you with no qualifications.
I have a loving guardian. I'm sorry I wavered.
That
I know
is
what to do.
healthy, my dear. Those who would have you continue on in faith to me unquestioningly, they're far too arrogant for my taste. Besides, how do you think I ended up with the love that I have? And you see that there is, you see that she has a locket around her neck that you never noticed before. It has a picture of what seems to be another very feminine form whose hair is braided almost like, I think the best description reference point is like goddess braids that are in silver, gold, platinum, and bronze. And you see it's almost like it's like a little locket that has a picture of like their wedding day.
Oh,
Believe
no
me,
one
love.
deserves happiness more.
We fight for love. Love is a fighting thing. Love is an active thing. Love is not just something you have. Though, for you, my dear, I give it freely.
And I back.
Good night, dear. And then you just see she disappears.
Solana flops back on her bed. And then goes, oh, armor. Okay.
You're like, oh no, wait, reality sets in. Fuck, this is uncomfortable to try and sleep in. So, I have to ask, before I get to Chitra, Daisy and Olivia, what are you doing this evening? What are you up to?
What indeed?
Yep.
So what does Daisy do? Does Daisy stick around?
Yeah, Daisy's just sitting there. They'd have ate whatever evening meal they were able to get from Macy and Aisha, because they plan on staying here this evening, so they're just chilling while the other two disappear off.
Okay. So I think sort of just leaving off to from when Olivia came back after being like, thanks for saving my life.
Mhm.
And came back. And then like Chitra rushed after Zana. So Olivia kind of like looks towards where Chitra went, you know what? Seems like a future me problem. Anyway, sits down and it's like sits down facing Daisy.
Mm.
And how close would you say Daisy is to the form that Olivia is most familiar with?
They're in the form Olivia will know most. This is the one that they default to when they're here in the community center, when they're just spending time with you and they're not having to be something else.
Okay. So
It looks kind of
Olivia's
elven. So they've got like the long elfy ears and the teal hair.
cool. Okay, so I guess Olivia's gonna like look initially sort of distractedly and then with kind of more attention, just sort of hanging out, and looks at your hair and sort of is like, the thing with theater folk such as Olivia is that they are not super great at hiding the emotions on their face. You can kind of read them like a book. It's very annoying. And so Olivia's kind of, you can like see the part where she's replaying moments in her equation back, and sort of where like there's this pink tinge that like comes onto her cheeks, and she's like, you know, I really admire the way you can switch back and forth between forms without losing who you are, especially this form. I mean, if I had the ability to shift into such forms, why would you choose not to look like you do now, you know? But I think it's great. I don't know if I've mentioned that before.
I don't think you have, no. But it definitely comes in handy. It's fun, I guess.
Yeah, fun. Speaking of fun,
Mm-hmm.
do you, I don't know, do you ever, is it ever uncomfortable for you, you know, hanging out, working with people you might have friendly, friendlier feelings for than other friends, and your friendly feelings for them. By the way, I love your hair like this. Have I mentioned I love your hair like this? It's so pretty.
Uh-huh. Thank you. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm comfortable to work with people I have more than friendly feelings for.
that is apparently what I said to you.
And why are you asking me that question?
You know, I read it in a magazine article about how to get to know people better.
Hmm. I avoid
Look.
such issues by look what?
No, you said you were issues?
Mm-hmm. Uh I tend to avoid those issues by just not having friendlier than friendly feelings towards my friends. Friends, it muddies the water with what I have to do when I'm working. So things are easier when you don't feel that way.
So you never. I recognize that I'm the one who phrased it in such a confusing way, but so you never have feelings for anyone you work with in the community center, say, or beyond?
Well, it's a complicated thing to frame in that way because, the average humanoid person experiences a lot of feelings, a whole range of them, and some of that is, having trusted friends. So it's not that I go without that. I trust you guys.
You trust. Yeah, no, trust is super important, and totally what I was getting at. So hey,
Yeah, I'm going to assume you're asking because there's certain someone that you have friendlier than friendly feelings towards. So it's okay to just cut to that chase without dancing around it because it's been quite obvious.
Has it? Because you know what? It has not been obvious to me. So I'm just wondering what all the obviousness is that everybody's on about. Because I go away to help other people out and I come back and some people have photos of other people that they have only ever had friendly feelings towards, apparently, just sitting on their nightstand. And then some people have had friendlier feelings towards and express them previously. And then they come back and then they have no memory of anything other than trust. Trust, I ask you. That is a funny word, isn't it? I mean, look, I'm not saying that there is nothing friendlier happening, but is it obvious? I don't think it is.
Oh, it is from my standpoint because I stand on like this side of it and get to watch you all.
What are you talking? Daisy, wait, you,
Look,
the only person in the current configuration of people that we are working with, the only person that I have locked lips with is you. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What is obvious? Can you please tell me? Because it is
Okay.
obvious to you.
Picture the scene. Picture the scene.
Picturing. Got great imagination.
You come in to the space and heat rises on the cheeks of a certain someone. Sign number
What the
one.
hell are
It
you
is quite
talking
obvious.
about?
Listen, you fluster Zolana a lot, like a lot, and it's quite apparent that she's got feelings. And a picture, I mean, like, if that's not obvious, I don't know what is. And Percival just knows, not Percival, sorry, Chitrangada, just knows the measurements and favorite color of Solana. You can't tell me that that's not also more than friendly feelings towards someone. And then you're like, oh, it's a date. And then Solana like blushes like a beetroot and gets all flustered again and wanders
When
off.
did I? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When did I ask Solana out? What are you talking about?
You guys were talking about you helping her carry her things, and then you were going to go and speak to someone. You were going to do it together, and you smiled and says, it's a date, and walked off. And then she looked kind of flustered.
I'm sorry.
Probably
me
thinking,
helping...
wait, is it like a date, or is it not? Because when you say it's a date, you know, like, you know. So even if you didn't mean it, even if maybe you didn't, possibly you didn't, judging by your approach right now, that's probably not what you were intending, but it absolutely would have come across that way. Absolutely.
Oh my god. Did I lead Zolana on? Have I been leading Zolana on this whole time?
I don't know. Are you leading her on?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to lead Zolana on. She's my friend.
No, I meant like
you know, the kind
yeah,
of friend you have friendly
you-
Actually, I don't.
Do you have friendly feelings? That's why you came in and asked. You had like the face of somebody who clearly had something you needed to get off your chest.
Yes. I am someone who has something to get off their chest, who is willing to do that. Because you know who isn't? Everybody else.
I just got off the. This is my stuff. I have no other stuff. I just explained to you what I observed.
Why are you observing Zolana so closely?
I'm observing all three of you. That was a tangled mess between all three of you.
Oh, so you're not part of any tangled mess then? You're not.
No.
No entanglement for you.
I mean, we locked lips. You know, it was fun. We could call that an entanglement if you want. Is it an entanglement? It's
we'll live in a community space, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
like,
look,
things.
And I'm sorry, let's rewind a little bit because my brain is kind of processing things at a slower pace than usual. Chitrangada knows Zolana's measurements?
Exact measurements and favorite color. And also, when me and Zolana went to the theater and we came back and we were talking about how it was quite a nice time, and then Chitrangada had like a face on and they got really awkward afterwards.
Sorry, Chitra.
Messy.
Who apparently everybody has feelings for Zolana.
Excuse you.
But you. Okay, sorry. Apparently, Chitra has measurements, if not feelings, for Zolana. I am apparently
the object.
No, let's
something.
No, I apparently
a picture next to her.
said the word date while referring to carrying groceries for my friend.
You did. Yeah,
and that apparently has not missed your notice.
No.
What were you doing in the theater with Zolana that made Chitra so angsty?
We were going to observe Ambrose. Well, we were going to go and try and see them, and then what we saw was like the color of the business card was the same color as the theater, and the theater show was really weird.
Yeah, you told me all of that.
Yeah.
What made Chitrangada so listen to a love song in her room while looking sad.
Because we were talking about it, it sounded like we enjoyed our theater trip, and he was not there.
Enjoyed.
Yes.
Enjoyed.
I like the theater. It's funny seeing amateurs trying to pretend to be somebody else with hacky costumes.
You know, whoa.
It's
Okay, gonna come back to that later. Look, if you were so interested in the theater,
yeah,
you know someone who is actively in the theater. 'Tis me.
Yeah.
Remember me? The person who you kissed?
you were busy. You were
not
sick.
that long ago.
It was very nice. Okay, you were helping your friend. You were doing a wonderful, selfless act to help those who were in need at the time, and you were indisposed.
Were you indisposed while I was indisposed? That's what I want to know.
Was I indisposed? I was eating fruit at the theater. I was having an excellent time. I enjoy having excellent times.
I do want to cut in, folks, and just give a gentle reminder that figure out a person is a move you can use. I'm just gonna set. Here's a fire going on. I'm just gonna set this gasoline can right there and let you do what you want with it. Carry on.
Give a good goddamn right now.
Sure, if Olivia wants to. I'm trying hard not to figure you. Well,
Are you?
Correction.
I think
the
course of this conversation suggests otherwise.
True. I think Daisy feels like they've already figured her out, but sure, I think we can both probably roll and see what we glean from it.
Sure.
A roll off?
It's not a roll off. It's just for individually each of you. It's plus wit.
Fine.
God,
don't make it
so
interesting.
hot.
6, 7, 8.
8.
Mm.
Okay.
10.
10. Oh my god. Even better. So for 7 to 9, Daisy, you may ask. I'm ignoring our personal chat right now. Ignoring. So, Daisy, 7 to 9, you may ask 2 questions from this list, but Olivia may ask you one in return. The list is: what are your feelings towards blank? What do you hope to get from blank? How could I get you to blank? What do you love most? And how would you feel if I blank? I love these questions.
So I'm a blank now.
Yes. Have you looked at the hair, the skin, and everything? There is a blank over. Sorry, I'm just kidding. It was too easy. But Daisy,
that's another game.
Okay.
That's another system.
You know what? I hear those questions and I take your offer of, oh, you want me to step up and make it even messier? Okay. First question. What are your feelings towards Alana?
You know, if you'd asked me this 2 days ago, I'd have said, she's my friend. The friend who I have friendly feelings towards.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't know. Now that I have this weird inkling, I mean, you were saying it, I don't know how much of it is true. You're saying it, and Chitra said it, or implied it. And now with the picture, I feel like this was part of the hazy New Year's conversation of ours that led to ours making out. But I never consider the possibility that anyone's going to have feelings for me. So when they might is the first time I let myself even consider it. I don't know. So the honest answer, which, you know, you should learn what that is, by the way. The honest answer is I don't know.
Fixer laughing from behind the mask. Sure.
Yeah. One more.
Yeah. Enter potential messiness. How would she feel? So this is over the table, I guess. If Daisy kissed you right now to distract you from your line of questioning.
I mean, from a spectrum of yay to
Maybe the distraction will work and you won't realize. Okay. Shelved till after your questions are dealt with.
Okay. How would Daisy feel if Olivia raced off right now to kiss Alana?
Good question. Daisy
Now,
would feel,
I
yes.
will also add too, just before you give the answer.
Yep.
Olivia, because of how high you rolled, you can pick from 2 more of those questions on that list, either now or later in the scene. Your call. Carry on, Daisy.
This is also above the table.
Yes,
Over the table.
Yes.
Mm.
Over the table.
Mm.
Over the table, under the stairs. Daisy would feel very disappointed.
At which part? The me not being here to be kissed, or the me going to kiss Alana?
Ouch. Ouch.
At being left alone.
Okay. So sorry, the remaining questions are, what can I do to get you to blank? How do you feel about blank? And something else. What is the last question?
Total list. What are your feelings towards blank? What do you hope to get from blank? How could I get you to blank? What do you love most? And how would you feel if I blank? That's the entire list. You already asked the how would you feel. So the rest of them are entirely up to you. Remember, and you don't have to do them right now. Because we're figuring out both above table and then narratively how this all comes out. But if you want to ask them now, you can, or you can wait. Those are 2 questions that can just be sitting there for you to ask at a later point. Or bring them up now.
I'm going to save one question for later.
Okay.
Do I have to tell you what that question is?
You'd like. I'm
Okay.
okay not knowing.
Yeah.
Listen, I've just been sitting here for about 15 minutes losing my shit over how funny and how sad this conversation is at the same time. My little gay heart is on fire with happiness and sadness. It's the best combination I could have ever asked for.
Okay. Because Olivia is a dream mirror, she is going to go like in a frustrated, what starts off as a frustrated stomp, like around the table, like make as if, like get as close to Daisy as possible with their faces maybe an inch or 2 apart. Make as if to grab her face or the back of her head,
Hmm.
stop, go, like as if to say, is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That
So
wasn't an answer from Daisy. That was an answer from Humbleoo.
Yeah. Daisy's confused by the forwardness and is like, sure, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
what do you feel for me? Tell me honestly, Daisy, because you know you were there when everything imploded with Jala. You were there in this room. I need to sort out what my heart wants, and it never knows what it wants, but I cannot just... If you want to be a distraction, that's fine. But you're worth more than that. To me, to everyone you interact with in this center, and certainly to the people we're working with right now. And so if you don't, and I'm sorry to have introduced this phrasing into our conversation, have friendlier feelings for me, if you could tell me clearly, as someone who very rarely knows their heart, I would really, really appreciate it.
And Daisy is gonna close their eyes for a moment, because this, someone actively trying to get close to them normally is met with an almost allergic reaction of backpedaling and pushing away, even saying something that's hurtful if it's needed to just get out of that situation. Because they usually only open up when it's on their terms. But there's like a moment where that instinct falters. Because for a moment, it's like a mirror looking at a mirror. And that feeling that you feel, they know exactly what that feels like. And how much it hurts. And they can't do that to you. I have nothing but respect for you, Olivia. A deep respect. More than just trust. And it's more than friendly feelings, but not in that sense.
Olivia sort of sits back, is sitting next to Daisy and like not necessarily moving away, but just like gets out of your space. And just...
But if she'll allow it, if she's trying to pull away, they're gonna move in to hug you and hold you close. Like hold you really close. And you have never known or ever seen Daisy hug anyone before. It's like a desperate hug that almost they need.
I think Olivia would hug back. Being a dream mirror, knows the hug is needed, and hug is needed on both sides, but I think would pull back a little bit like sort of like stroke some of the hair off of your forehead and say, you, I know that was a just a moment between us all those months ago. I know it. It just hurts when it just hurts if I look at you and I want to see what you just said. That respect and that more than just friendly feelings. But it hurts when I want to see that mirrored back and I don't see it, because I think more than anything else, what I miss about just that incredible evening was just and I am I'm totally not quoting something I may have written in my journal, but when a mirror looks at a mirror, in that moment they are infinite.
You mean a great deal to me, Olivia, and that's rare for me.
Yeah.
And I feel comfortable around you in a way that I don't normally feel. Like I'm a real person. I know that sounds a bit strange, but I think if anyone is going to understand what I mean by that, I think it's you.
Yeah.
Like I feel the most me because I know that you see that. That's how you work. You see people. Anyway, you deserve a lot better than me. I'm just putting that out there. You do. You deserve the world.
Appreciate that, Daisy, but I don't think either of us are a good judge of what we deserve. So how about this? If we're ever in doubt, maybe we check in with each other. Do I deserve this person and the happiness they could bring me?
Yeah.
For instance, who do you love? And I forget the second part of the question. Hang on. Hey, what's the second part of the question?
I love this entire scene. I love everything about this. The questions you had available. Maybe 2 seconds while I find it. Where you're going, what do you love most? That was it. That was the whole of that question.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. I thought
it is
okay.
one whole thing just to ask
Right.
that. And
Got
I
it.
can't think of a more appropriate moment or question to ask.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That folks, that over there, actually, on this camera, I'm looking at the overlay. That person over there, that's a master of using mechanics and storytelling. Fuck, it's the other way on the overlay because I'm reversed. God damn it. What do you love most, AC? Or rather, who do you love most?
I don't know yet exactly, because I have never felt it before. Because most people learn how to love from family. And it teaches you what that feels like so that you know what you're looking for. And Daisy doesn't have family. But they've told a
Sure
lot of
you
other
do.
people's stories. Well,
Look at us now. Look at us here. What are two mirrors except part of the same ilk?
think I am feeling friendlier than friendly feelings. Towards Solana, because she represents an ideal that is very, very treasured to me. And because of that, I felt comfortable letting the side of myself that nobody ever sees out just a little bit. And I never thought it would feel good. I was scared of opening up that. But it felt nice. I felt seen and wanted in a way that I'm not used to. I've been many things for many people, and I've felt someone's lust for me or their desire to have me closer, wish to make me theirs, and I will do what I need to for those people, but I've never felt that. It was new. I'm not sure yet what it means, and I feel like a total fool for feeling that way about someone that probably doesn't feel that way about me. But feelings are messy. I've told enough stories to realize that.
Olivia's gonna like tuck the hair behind your ear and say, you realize you questioning the fact that someone could feel a certain way about you is similar to what I said to you about what you felt for me and what I look. I agree, feelings are messy, but you have told enough stories to know that if you felt something, even if every part of you is telling you not to trust a feeling that says someone, that you could matter to someone, there's more of a story there. Why wouldn't you want to find out what that is?
Because if I err in it, if it isn't what I hope, I don't think I'll ever let that side of myself see the light of day again.
Oh, Daisy. After Jala, I didn't think I would find it in myself to kiss someone again, and yet here you were. I didn't think I would find it in myself to notice someone caring for me, and yet here all of you are. And sometimes all it takes is to break into a poor guy's house and save him from a would-be assassin in refugee chic to push you in the direction of talking to people about your feelings. Admittedly, very specific circumstances and may not happen in the same way again, but sometimes weird days will happen and you'll just be pushed towards someone. And hey, you may not get to kiss them, but you might learn what you mean to them, which arguably might be better.
Yeah. Those are some very wise words, Olivia.
I talk a lot to my mirror when I'm trying to be wise. I have had a lot of practice being wise for myself.
You know what that means, though, right?
Let's assume I do, but tell me anyway.
You have a very deep wisdom within you. And that is what allows you to see people at their core. So it allows you to do what you do. And you do it well. I know I can put on other people's faces and be someone else, but it takes a different kind of depth to see who a person is and reflect that back at them. That's a talent I do not have.
Stacey, I think both of us have been told that what we do, what we have, what we can do are diseases.
Mm.
And it's taken being here and being amongst these incredible group of women and femme presenting peeps to try and get that out of our systems. And it doesn't really feel like a disease here, does it?
No,
So if I have
feel
depth,
pretty awesome, honestly.
so if I have depth, if I have hidden depths, baby, I don't even have words right now for what you have.
Cute butt.
Yes, those are also words.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get ice cream. Do you want to come with?
Yes, please.
And sing.
Yeah, the cutting off point of that is just Macy and Aisha going, thank God, we thought you'd never leave. It's just been, one of them has just been standing there with like a dip and a crusty bread they've been wanting to find a moment to bring in as a snack, but they're just like, we can't really do anything at this moment. A quick question I have to ask to both of you. Are either of you smitten with one another after this exchange?
I would say at least on Olivia's part, at the moment, no.
I think there is a platonic smitten, which we asexuals understand completely.
Yes. Yes.
It is not I want to be with you or anything like that, but it's just
it is more I want to share space with you.
Yeah,
and I want to be around you. I want to take in the joy that is with being with you.
Daisy really meant everything they said to Olivia.
Okay. In that case, then specifically for Daisy, when you become smitten with somebody, here's what happens. Say why, give them a string on you, and answer the question in the Truce of Heart and Blade section of your playbook, which, when it comes to you, Daisy, is going to be the following. 2 seconds while I find player motivations. Truth of Hearts and Blade. When you become smitten with someone, answer this question. What secret do you have that you think would make them reject you if they knew? These are spicy questions. I love these.
Yeah, that one's
That is full, like,
Um,
what do you feel like is a truth about you
yeah.
that you think would make Olivia reject you?
Hmm. Yes.
Question
Yeah.
to our beloved GM.
Yes.
Given that I had the frightened condition and arguably I left Daisy, that is something important behind, can I get rid of the condition?
Yes, you can get rid of it. I'm being nice. You can get rid of
Okay,
it.
cool. Yay.
I think. Oh, I don't know. There's two things that come to mind. One is a thing, but I don't know if they would think Olivia would reject them. Perhaps that Daisy, it's a worry of Daisy's that deep down at their absolute core, their only purpose in life, why they were brought into being, why they're here, why they do everything, is to serve a purpose and to serve their goddess, and that they're opening up and they do have these feelings for people. They have a very deep platonic love for Olivia and growing feelings elsewhere, but they know that if they had to, they would just walk away. Their purpose in life is ultimately all that they are. And they're worried that that truth would make Olivia feel mistrust or upset.
Okay. Meanwhile, while all of this has been happening,
I want up
Chitra,
my feelings mirrored by one. Carry on.
you, with a complete rejection from Zalana, I think we talked about it before even break happened, are staggered by this. When you are staggered, let's look at how many conditions do you have?
Well, I currently have none.
No, sorry, Chitra has.
No, I have
It is-
none as well. I have none
So,
right now.
you have 3 options. You lash out at someone whose regard matters to you, provoke them to do something foolish or harmful, and take advantage of a string on them if you have one. You hesitate or stumble, and the opposition gains an opportunity. You grin and bear the blow. Mark 2 conditions.
Chitrangada is unfortunately extremely used to rejection. Not like that, she doesn't have the exact greatest track record of people who she's cared about return the same feelings. This is a familiar pain, and she's she's currently walking to the theater because at this point all she can think is to commune with her goddess, and she's just figuring out how to grin and take it.
You're going to take the blow. So mark 2 conditions. The conditions can be Angry, frightened, guilty, hopeless, or insecure?
Hopeless and, well, guilty. Guilt is an old friend.
You arrive at, oh, we don't even need to ask which theater it is. It's Carcosa, of course. Beloved Carcosa. How the dream of you appears now in this moment, because at first there does not appear to be any production that's on. It seems closed. You blink and the doors are open for you.
I walk through.
Ambrosio is waiting. I sense you wish to speak with me. I don't have very much time at this moment, but what do you need of me, my dear Chitrangada?
Is this my destiny? I
You'll
have
have to be a bit more specific, dear.
I was raised to believe that when you love anything, anyone, family, people, friends, service is the highest thing that you can do. Sacrifice. I gave up my dreams to make sure my mothers could regain the status that they deserved. Went to law school, met 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 Kiamina, loved her, devoted my life, my entire sense of world, morality to her. Even if I disagreed, I thought it's us against the world. So it has to come to something. I didn't do it with any real expectation of some happy ending where we'd walk off into the sunset. I just expected care. Great gratitude would be nice. And I realized that, well, it took me a while. You know that I'm thick on this one. It took me a while. I left and am now trying to make amends. Making amends with other people that I neglected for Kiamina. I opened my heart. I pledged my service to an old friend, and she didn't want it. I am trying to make amends with someone I've hurt, with the full knowledge that whatever I have done, that she has full reason to reject me and never look at me, never even be friendly to me. Then I have a different friend whose openness, whose willingness to care, to empathize is so terrifying to me that I would not even consider her, that I wouldn't even consider, that I wouldn't even give her the have the basic decency of trusting her, because I don't think, because I think everybody lies. Is this what is this my only is this my only role on earth, on this world, to give and give, to atone for the things I have done, and go back to my little cottage in the swamp and just stay there without any hope for any brightness in the future?
My child, are you asking me if I think you will have a happy ending? or that you are fated to suffer?
I think I guess the second one. Happy endings are I don't expect some miracle on a happy ending. That's not the life I have chosen. That's not the person I am.
And why is that not the case? Why is it that that is not part of who you are?
Because I mean, have you seen my track record? I care about those who care, who do not want to open themselves up to me. I care about those who I have the audacity to care for someone who I have already hurt and still want to be around her, even though I know that I should not in any capacity. I shouldn't have. Why did I come back here? I should have just left. I shouldn't be anywhere near Zolana. I should have left Daisy alone, never expected anything, and I should have just left because I have left carcasses. I have left.
Puts a finger to your lips. Child, I will ask you a simple question, and I want you to be very direct in answering me. Why do you use should so often? You treat it as if it is a foregone conclusion. You should be moral in this way. You should care in this way. You should love, or put all of your actions towards one way. Why do you believe all of your life is a should? No illusions, no lies, simple and direct. Why do you believe in a should? And you see the entire form before you that had that magnificent yellow like outfit and everything. It is a vastness that you feel for a moment in glimpsing it, as though your mind is overwhelmed by trying to understand it. Why is your life a should?
Because I don't know what I am without it. I'm not. If nothing makes sense, if I don't have anything, it means I am nothing. I'm ordinary and insignificant and useless.
Child, have you forgotten the very hallmark of what it means to belong to me, to have faith in me? Defile, to rupture, to break, to move away from that which is treated as sacred, or which becomes sacred for us. You have enshrined doubt and self-loathing and made a god of such things in your life. What then must you do?
I don't know.
Defile. Break from that.
I don't know how.
then take a step that you feel is impossible. Just try. Do not hope that it will have to be a certain way. Do not hope that it will work out, that you are destined to fail or to suffer. Destiny is convenient for all faithful. It lets them believe that if they are happy, that is how it should be. If they are sad, that is how it should be. Such is a terrible thing for any mortal to believe in. Least of all he who would claim to have me as a point of worship. You are not condemned to suffering. You are not condemned to fail, whether in romance, in morality, or in life. Such things are tenuous concepts at best. You are not useless. You chose to do things. You chose a path. You chose a profession. You chose things. Now stop running from what comes from doing that. Either live or do not. Do you wish to live in your truth, and whatever joy or sadness it may bring? Or do you wish to keep looking for an easy answer in destiny?
I want to do something else. I want something else. I want things to change. I want to change them.
Then start with yourself and begin making the steps you know you need to do, even if you are afraid. There is a moment where you glimpse the vastness of the deity before you. It is terrifying. It is all-consuming and wrapping around you. And there's a moment of constriction. But then it becomes warmth. And knowing that this deity will not give you comfort, but that is not why you are there. They are there for you. They are there to remind you of your truths, that you have agency, that the suffering is mistakes, that all make mistakes. To enshrine destiny, self-doubt, loathing, a sense that you will never know happiness, that is convenience. And that is not what your God teaches you. You must defile that which you hold sacred, even if it means the most terrible of beliefs about yourself.
Chitrangada embraces whatever. She just reaches her arms out and just kind of reaches her arms out and whispers, I wonder if you have the same issues with other of your devotees.
Of course I do. None of you are worthy of me, but I've grown used to it.
Thank you. Sorry for missing you at the court.
Oh,
I didn't
do
mean to
not
be
worry.
rude.
Do not worry, my love. I'm always with you. I am everywhere. Fare thee well, my faithful.
Very
So
well.
whoosh, you are outside the theater. The theater looks run down and closed. No one's been here.
Chitrangada looks at the theater She's her eyes are still red and she's puffy, but she kind of straightens her shoulders. I am many things. Monstrous is one of them. That's what makes me special. She just kind of thinks that in her head. And goes back to the community space to have a long awaited discussion with Daisy.
And with that last eldritch nod to canon that is beyond the scope of this series and everything, we are done for today, folks, with the mid-season finale for The Severed City, an episode titled Deeds Foul and Fair. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for these many emotional revelations, the plot progression of folks discovering that there's a lot in here with different people from all of their respective lives involved. One of the best RP moments I've ever gotten to witness of just flailing revolutionary girl Utena hopeless lesbianism, a confession of one's frailty and sense of self-loathing, both towards a loving God and towards a God who is not going to give you that comfort by any stretch of the imagination, but is still going to be your bud. You're not getting comfort out of Septis. Septis is going to be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You have power. Use it, you bastard. But on that note, gonna let everyone do a very quick outro. Say who you are, one thing we can find you in, and then we'll just keep it passing down because we've gone over a few minutes, but this was a big finale and I wanted to make sure we had those nice closing moments for everybody. So I'll start with myself. My name is Ana Lemos Morveja. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm creative director over at Girls Write These World, which I'm going to reveal it here. Folks, we've been long delayed on our 4th zine being put out for folks on the topic of routines. We're getting there. It's almost done. We'll hopefully have it out before Christmas time comes around, and consider it a gift to get for folks if you need some nice cozy moments and nice bit of material covering stuff from spaceships to cozy beverages. That's me. I'll pass it over to apparently the Catholic girl who gets a lot of love, Sakaya.
Hi everyone, I'm Sakaya. I've been in a few things, but hurry this through. Just follow me on Sakaya at bluesky.social. And at some point we'll have news for a new podcast released in March. And I've been very, very, very happy and excited to be in this first half. And oh my gosh, wasn't it emotional today? Wasn't that a bit? That's me.
Absolutely wonderful. Passing it over to the defiler in training and the croc with a lot of grief and shit to process, Percival.
Hi everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. Definitely. I'm so happy about this. Because I'm evil and I like making my character suffer. It's good catharsis. I'm Percival, also who's playing Chitrangada. I am currently, I think, on two fairly delayed projects. One of them is with Bard Rock Network, which is, I think we're going to be starting, I think we're going to be, we are in the midst of preparing to play Starry Nights, which is in the Blades in the Dark system where we all play magical girls. Also, we have one, I think, hopefully, this should start this weekend. We are going to be playing, I'm going to be playing with Exquisite Corpse Productions, Thorns and Rust. in the newly released Splice system by Alec Azam, or Azam, not entirely sure of the pronunciation there, but essentially this is we've changed systems there, and we're going to be playing. We're going to be having some spooky times in the Fey world, where I'm going to be playing a butch actress, going to be playing a butch actress who gets pigeonholed into the lesbian best friend roles, and also has a dark past or a dark present where she also happens to be part of a long-running mafia family. So, look out for that. I think it's going to be this Saturday.
Sensing a theme.
Butch and chaos. That's about what I wanted Abby to be here for. Carrying on with the emotional weaver of masks who just had the biggest disclosure ever, Humalu.
Yes, feelings, huh? Hi, I'm Emma, humble in the internet. I use she, they pronouns. I've brought to you Daisy this wonderful, wonderful season. Bravo, Angela. What a beautiful story. You can see me this Saturday over at Valdrian's channel, where I will be taking a group on a special festive one-shot for Extra Life. It is Mass Effect, so it is festive shenanigans in space. We're also going to have a limited series in January. Stay tuned, Valdrin's channel.
And last but certainly not least, she who has implemented somehow with panache and great skill the phrase friendlier than friendly and such. Purna, take us away.
Hi, everyone. My name is Purna M. I use she, her pronouns. I have played Olivia, the Haver of Feelings. This past season, thank you, Angela, for making all of this happen, and all the rest of you. At the moment, things you can find me in, just announced today, Chefs de Partie, a mini RPG game where there are cozy little dishes with consequences that you can get on the 26th of January on DriveThruRPG. Also coming soon to a place where you get RPGs near you. A new release by Weave Games, which is by me and my partner, Arman, called Love is on the Cards, where you can make your own holiday rom-com, because you have issues with the ones you watch. And that's it.
Boy,
for me.
howdy, I do. Thank you, everybody who has been able to tune in here, whether you were here just for this session or you've been here since the start of it. We are at the halfway point of our series, and because of the holidays and everything that's in the busyness and such, we are going to be taking a break until January 8th, where we will be coming back with more gay chaos feelings and more machinations happening in the city of Backfire in the homebrew world of Agni that I've created. It has been an absolute pleasure to be helping facilitate this whole story for folks and to give them chances to really lean into both the larger plot and the plots that they just create for themselves with one another's emotions, because I didn't know anything about that whole kiss thing, and that was wonderful. Bless you both for that. Thank you, everybody, for all the time, and may you find whatever love you need in with one another, whether it be with family or chosen family, or just for yourself when you need it in your moments of deepest despair. May you find hope even in a world that is violent and cruel at times. And may you know peace of mind in the moments where you feel most filled with unrest. This world can be beautiful despite how terrible it is, and I send all my love to every single one of you. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you on January 8th when we get back. Take care, folks.